Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Chronicle Keeper Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I am doing a preview of Amazing Adventures Night City Underground campaign. So last night, my players and we got together and we finalized character creation and then importing them to Roll20. In Roll20, they did not have a character sheet template for Amazing Adventures, so we repurposed Castles and Crusades for the purposes of of using it for Amazing Adventures for now. I mean, hopefully down the road, someone actually comes up with a character sheet for Amazing Adventures on Roll20. But the systems are both at their core the siege engine, which Castles and Crusades utilizes as well. So I think when I show you the character sheets and how they kind of work, you'll see that they perform pretty well. We did have to put some things in the comments section of the character sheets. There's no sanity stat for the current Castles and Crusades on Roll20. That may actually come a little bit later as well, because there are sanity stats in the newest update of Castles and Crusades. So anyway, and those are interchangeable between the two systems right now as well. So there's a lot of crossover between both Castles and Crusades and Amazing Adventures, and that going forward will be very useful until some of the future books come out for Amazing Adventures. So let me switch views here, so I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. So this is Amazing Adventures, if you're not aware, and this is the player's handbook of it. This was released in 2024. I've been covering this on my channel, so you can check out the videos that I already have in the playlist for Amazing Adventures. Really impressive system. Excuse me. Really impressive system. So here is the player's handbook. Here is the Chronicle Keeper's Guide. I've been covering both of them so far, and as I said previously, I will continue to do so. And here is the Chronicle Keeper's screen, and this is one of the most useful screens I've seen around. Everything is also in PDF, so I have all of that as well. So really excited about jumping into this. So as I said last night, my players and we met. We finalized their character sheets for level 1, and I'm just going to go over that really quickly. I will show you those on Roll20 as I switch views here again. So my mouse is a little bit squirrely today. So here is the landing page for for our Roll20, and here you have the characters that you can see, and I will zoom in a little bit. Really nice image I found, and I think it really does capture what I'm looking for the tone and feel of the setting. The setting is a homebrew setting. It is a fictional city sprawl. Geographically, you can consider it the East Coast of the United States, but I'm trying to avoid it being the United States. I'm just putting it as a very generic East Coast city sprawl. Population. Current population is only about 12 million, but it was in excess of nearly twice that amount. There was a war against both alien and and eldritch horror kind of invasion, and I will get more into the story of it once my players are actually introduced to the story of it as well. So I don't want to tip off anything for them right now until our session next Tuesday. So this campaign has replaced my Castles and Crusades Tuesday night um, gaming. And the reason being is that I've been running fantasy RPGs now for on a very consistent basis, practically weekly for a little over 4 years, and I was just running dry. I was running, my creativity and my coming up with new adventure ideas and whatnot. I was just coming up like very dry, and then I was like, you know what? I just need a change. I need a genre change. And so here we are with Amazing Adventures. I'm so familiar with the Siege engine. I really do enjoy that system for running games, and um, this is my way to continue supporting Troll Lord Games, which is probably one of the best companies out there for tabletop role playing. So I really do enjoy supporting them. And here we have our characters now. So we begin off, and this is in no particular order. So we have, well, actually, I believe it's in alphabetical order right now. But we have Arden, who is being played by my player Mirador. We have Frank Pardo, not the Frank Pardo of Let's Make the Deal fame, but Frank Pardo, who is played by Alan. We have Samuel, who is played by Q Cooper. We have Wolfram, which is played by Shadow and Son, so you might be familiar with his YouTube channel. And then we have Vanna, who is played by Leah. My only female player, and she's been great. She's been with me for over 3 years. Actually, many of these players. Only Q Cooper is fairly new with me, and he's still been with me for almost a year now. Shadow and Son has been with me for nearly 3 years, and Leah Allen and Mirador have been with me for over 3 years, almost 4 years now. So it's a pretty well-established group with me, and really looking forward to the change in genre, with them as well. So let me go over the character sheet. So the official character sheets, and let me make sure we're looking at the same thing. So here is the official character sheet of Mirador's character, Arden Anderson. He is a mentalist, and they have this is a pretty functional character sheet. I really do enjoy these. I've made physical copies of these. The one thing that they don't have on these form fillables is, I wish they had in the portrait, even though they let you click on it. They should have it where you can actually put the portrait in. That would be nice. Next one up is Alan's character, Frank Pardo. He's a dual classed, so he's first level soldier. Then on the next level, he will pick up first level feral, and it basically goes back and forth between the two. He can choose to skip leveling up in another and then go with this here. Go with soldier or feral. We'll have that choice going back and forth as well. So you don't have to maintain an absolute balance here. So really looking forward to seeing how this works out. And then we go to Samuel Penrose. Actually, this is Arthur Penrose. I guess he changed his name from Samuel to Arthur. So here is Arthur Penrose, and he's a raider. So a raider is built around kind of like the Indiana Jones kind of character here. and then we move on to Shadow, and Shadow is a gadgeteer. All right, so description, he's like a rocketeer kind of character. Really interesting how that's going to work as a gadgeteer, because gadgets in Amazing Adventures can duplicate spell effects, and then you just build them into the gadget, and then in some cases you have to modify how it actually works, because spells have like magic energy points that you can utilize, and I'm waiting to hear back from Jason Vey as to how to handle a laser gun, basically, that shoots the equivalent of a magic missile, and what's the usage of that. Like, how often can you fire it on any given day? Does it take a cartridge, with charges or whatnot? So I'm just waiting to hear some further details on that. It's a very flexible system where you can take gadgets and give them magic effects. Where it doesn't have at the moment, it just says it's up to the castle keeper, but I just like a better answer than that. Let's say I'd like to be a little bit more concrete with it. Then we have Vanna, and Vanna's played by Leah, and she is she's an Arcanist enhanced. All right, so she's going to be leveling up in 2 different classes as well, and she's leaning towards almost like a lycanthrope, like a werewolf kind of character, but with spell casting and such, and she's going to lean towards I believe electrical, which is really quite interesting. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Now, the other thing, so now I'll show you, I'll go back to here, and then you can see, I'm just going to show you one so you can see the translation in, the translation in this. So let's go to the, actually, let me do it this way. So I will bring up Arden here. And so here you can see how it translates over. Let me make this bigger. Here we go. There we go. So it translates over, almost seamlessly. At least now we have the experience points and what they need to go to next level, which wasn't on the character sheet actually. So that was something that the character sheet needs to have some improvements done to it there as well. And then we come down, and you can see he has his trench coat and his 3-piece suit and his fedora, which gives him an armor class of total of a 14. Has all of his weapons, and his weapons are built in, with the Tyrol. He can telekinesis a billy club, and so it gives him his modifier. That utilizes his intelligence for the plus 1 to hit. So not strength, because it's utilizing that. When he uses the billy club without telekinesis, he actually has no modifier to it because he doesn't have a strength modifier. And then his character class skills, which he was able to put in. The other thing I found with this system, with using this character sheet, is that when they get higher level, they start exceeding these, and then he had to put in the class skills further down over here. So it doesn't let you fully fill this all the way up to like 12 abilities or so. I think it only gives you room for, looks like roughly 9. So it's about 3 short. I wish it was a little bit longer on there. But it's functional right now. And then his biography and bio, I'll wait for him to put in his bio. And attributes and everything else is put in on this page here. That's kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. We really don't need it. Other than that's what the the character icon is going to utilize when you shift to this. So let me close this down without. That's what's used to import into these avatars or tokens that are on the screen here. I also set up a secondary token, the battle map. So this is how I always set up my games. I have the start, which is the landing page, and then I will put in the various maps as I go along. I purchased a bunch of city maps that I'm going to upload onto this and be all ready to have a series of city maps ready to go. And that's something I got to pull off of. Just reminded myself that I need all those city maps in here. So that'll be pretty cool too. So anyway, so I'm really excited about launching this. Launching this new campaign and utilizing a semi-new system for me. Like I said, the game mechanics of it, I'm very familiar with. My players are I'm very familiar with my players as well, and I think this time around, what I'm going to have them do is they're going to start off with these characters, but then they will also have the opportunity, as we build that capacity, for them to make second characters, even third characters or so, and kind of have like a almost like a Mission Impossible kind of thing where they might be given a mission to carry out, and then they can select from their various characters which ones they want to take on this mission. Meanwhile, the other characters are off doing other things as well. So I do want them to, certainly launch this and, with these primary characters, but then they will certainly have the opportunity to bring in more characters as well. I also want to open this up to more players. So right now I have currently 5 players. This will be opened up for others if they want to join in, and if we get too many to run, we'll just either create a different session for them, or I'll start doing alternating weeks with the other group as well. So and they can mix and match. Whoever's available, they can come in and do it that way. I do really want to kind of follow that, like I said, that Mission Impossible dossier of operatives that can then be called upon. If you show up, you can you're playing that day. If you can't show up, that's fine. Others will be there. If you want to use character A versus character B, you're welcome to do so as well. And basically run each week session as episodic. All right, so it will be a start, middle, and each episode, and then the next week could be completely disconnected from what happened in the previous week, and kind of build out the world that way. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good learning practice for me to run that kind of a campaign with players coming and going and different characters getting thrown in the mix. And I think that it will give the flexibility for my players, to be like, hey, you know what, I can't make it this week, that's fine. We can do, or I don't really feel like running this particular character this week, that's fine as well. So we'll see how it works out. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope they are as well. And I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention sometime soon. My next convention is the Central New York Role-Playing Convention. That is on June 14th and 15th. And that's in, it's called New Hartford, New York. It's really just outside of Utica. So if you're available, and I will still continue pushing for that convention. There's also Otacon 3 that I will be attending that's also in June. That might be actually the week before that. And that one is a very small convention here in Pleasant Valley, New York, and I will start advertising that as well. I want to bring Fred on to talk about that convention. So I'm going to reach out to him and start pushing that as well. So you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for stopping in. Remember to like and subscribe and to comment, especially in the comments section there. And Jason Bay, if you want to jump in and talk a little bit about the game system as well, you're certainly welcome to come in and the comment section and drop a few little things like, I'm sure people will be asking, as I did in our interview, if there's any projection as to when the Monstrous Manual for Amazing Adventures will be on tap for release. So anyway, thanks for stopping in. You all have a great rest of your day. Take care.